This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by NordVPN. Go to nordvpn.com/Film Riot to get 70% off a 3-year plan and an extra month free when you use the coupon code FilmRiot. So my friend Joe Simon, who you all know from the DP at Home episode that we did, has recently released a badass sci-fi drama short film called The Volunteer. And the reason I asked Joe to talk about it today is because Joe decided to make the entire thing during quarantine, which means he did it alone. At times he had his wife Katie there to hit record for him, but he was the DP, the actor, and the director, and that is crazy inspiring to me because this short looks like money. Now, if you haven't seen his short film, definitely check it out in the links below before watching this episode. It really is great and almost like a visual poem with gorgeous imagery and amazing VFX, so definitely check that out. But now, I'm gonna let Joe take it from here.
The short film, The Volunteer, was born from this pandemic. The idea came from having empty streets and empty spaces to film in. You know, I really love 70s, 80s sci-fi movies, and to me, I'm always thinking to the spacesuits and hazmat suits and, you know, those really cool outfits that they wear in those movies. And I thought, you know what, why not? I'm gonna find a hazmat suit. I started searching the internet, found that I can get a fake hazmat suit for $400 and said, screw it, and bought it. It started as a smaller tone piece. It was just gonna basically be cool shots of me in a hazmat suit, walking around Austin, put to music, maybe 60 seconds long. But as this whole situation progressed, it just seemed too much of a downer and depressing, and I wanted to make something that would be a little more hopeful and also a little bit more of a story that you could follow along to. The original idea I had for this project was to do a lot of very slow zoom shots. As a one-man band operation, I was really limited to just using a tripod. So for me, I had to rethink those shots. And so I really set up each composition in a very interesting way, bringing leading lines together, directing the viewer's attention to where I want it to go, as well as doing zooms in post. So when doing a small production like this, there's 3 things that really stand out to me to make a small production look big. Finding locations that have a wow factor to them, that look impressive, that seem like, how could they have this location? For me, finding these empty places, you wouldn't be able to make those look empty like that without spending a lot of time in VFX removing everybody, or having the money to close down those locations. I think something that's really huge about passion projects, and whenever you're doing something smaller, is that you need to build your story around the locations that you have available to you. If you write this big grandiose story about whatever it is, and then you're like trying to find the location, it becomes extremely difficult to find exactly what you want for free or for cheap. Most productions, when you have a day to shoot, you have that 10, 12 hours, whatever it is, and you have to shoot all day long and make your story fit within that time. Personal projects like this, I will shoot just at blue hour or golden hour, spend that 2 hours, 3 hours at the front end and back end of the day and take a break during the mid part of the day. That way I'm able to utilize the best light possible to make sure that my shots all look amazing. Unfortunately, given that all the stores are closed, I couldn't go out and find props. So I was able to order the hazmat suit online, but that was really the only thing I could have. So for me, it was, how do I make this hazmat suit the focal point of the story? And obviously, being the color it was, yellow and green, it's gonna pop in pretty much any kind of situation you put it in. So between the locations, time of day of shooting, and the hazmat suit, I really had 3 things that would make this seem a lot bigger than what the production actually was. For the downtown shoot day, we shot the bridge shot. We also shot another scene down on Congress Bridge that we never did end up using in the short. Then we also shot downtown Congress Avenue right in front of the Capitol, which is another really cool shot where we positioned the camera right in the center of the road. Looking down, you have a great view all the way down towards the Capitol. The shot is quick. I mean, it's only 4 seconds, 5 seconds in the short, but it took quite a bit of time to achieve it because even though it's empty, we got an empty shot of the city. There was still people walking by, cars crossing in the background. So there's a lot of takes that we would do that would get ruined. It's crazy, how much time it actually takes to do something when you're by yourself and you're trying to grab these shots.
I'm gonna pause Joe for a second so we can thank our sponsor, NordVPN. And of course, I've talked about NordVPN several times on the show, but I think it's more important now than ever where literally everything we currently do is online. And it is the VPN that I personally have used for years because it's incredibly affordable, and it can be even more so by going to nordvpn.com/FilmRiot to get 70% off. Now, normally the number one reason that I think Nord is amazing is the security. But right now, being stuck at home like we all are, the thing that I've been loving the most is that once you turn it on, you can select over thousands of servers in over 60 countries, which means it'll seem like you're actually in those countries. And why is that awesome? Well, let's look on Netflix, shall we? I dig the show Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it is not available in the US for me to watch. But if I jump over to NordVPN and switch my server to UK, search again, and there it is. On top of that, just switching your country gives you a totally different experience, different films, different recommendations, and that goes for places like Disney Plus too. So if you're getting bored with what you have available, you flip that switch and you have a whole new experience. But again, of course, it is that security too. Your ISP isn't able to peek into your underwear drawer, so to speak. And honestly, I just have it on all the time because of that. And since it's so fast, I really can't tell the difference with it on or off. So protect yourself and get a whole new streaming experience by going to nordvpn.com/FilmRiot to get 70% off of a 3-year plan. Plus use the coupon code FilmRiot to get an extra month for free.
I'm a big fan of lighting with a single source. And for this specific room, this is my house and I see the light there every day. In the late afternoon, the light really pushes through that window and it looks beautiful. So we were able to use the natural light that was already gonna be there. We helped augment it with a 650 watt ARRI Fresnel light. I used that to push a little more texture onto the background of the wall and the tub and the floor. The light was mostly flat coming from the sun, and I wanted this to feel a little bit more directional and to give texture. I'm a big fan of atmospheric lighting, and this is part of that, is being able to create these beams of light that give us separation. So in the shot you can see, it's hitting a little bit of my shoulder, it's hitting the back wall, it's hitting the floor. It looks really cool. The production design of the bathroom was very important. I wanted it to feel like it was his place, but also I wanted to create a framing and a look that made him feel trapped. So filming a frame within the frame creates this space of trapped. He's trapped inside of his house. He's not able to roam the world as he once could. Each item in the room, is very specifically placed there. There's a towel hanging over the shower. We place it there to break up the wall and give us a little more texture. The door is open to a specific angle so that we're getting a reflection on the door from the window. But we also put a piece of clothing hanging over the door to break up that reflection so it wasn't so uniform. Same with the plant on the right-hand side of frame. That plant came from another room. We brought it in, we set it there to give us some foreground and also break up that flat wall that was behind it. When I'm shooting a room, it's really important. You're just not shooting what's there. You're always bringing elements from other places and really looking at the entire frame, balancing it out and bringing in foreground elements, background elements, and pieces that make it feel more natural and real. I would also add that we use atmospheric aerosol in this scene. It's a can-based haze that helps create a little bit more depth in your scene. It's something I use in productions all the time. The easiest way to explain it is it lets you see the air. It creates layers in the air. So instead of the room feeling so flat, it makes it feel deeper, and it also gives it texture. We had the shower on as hot as we can get it, so we're getting steam from the shower. So between the shower steam and the aerosol spray, it just gives a really great feeling in that room. So there's 3 reasons why I chose this angle of the dining room. First and foremost, the light is coming into that window. It's giving a nice edge, kind of like backlight. It's not totally behind, it's coming across the face a little bit. It makes it feel a little bit more dramatic. The warmth light against that darkness really helps push the storyline. 2, we're looking into a corner. So the fall off is really great. We have the sunlight that's hitting the table and hitting talent, but then in the background, it's just darkness. And the third thing is the leading line. So 2 corners leading into our talent. So the walls draw your eye to the talent. The light draws your eye to the talent. And so it's a really great location to shoot. Now to help give us a little bit more light, I had to put in a Westcott Cine RGB 2x1 light. Now that light is off to the right-hand side of frame. There's an egg crate on it. And then we have 4x4 of half grid. So just creating some really soft light. You really can't even tell it's there because the scene is so dark, but it's bringing up our ambient level enough so that we're not getting a lot of noise on the shadow side of my face, which is really important. If we just had that side backlight coming in, it would be so silhouette-y on that side that we would lose a lot of the expression. And it's important to see the expression on the face because that helps sell the scene. For this short, I decided to do the whole project in DaVinci Resolve. I often do my color inside of Resolve, and of course, until now, I've only recently started editing and doing sound as well. I've been using Premiere for the past few years, but after a few small edits in Resolve, I noticed it was faster and had less crashes. So I decided to jump in with this project as well. After a few days in the edit, it became second nature. It's very intuitive, and coming from other software, it's really easy to learn. With Resolve, it was nice to have the extra speed, more stability, and have audio, edit, and color all in the same place. No need to export out XMLs or have issues with reconnecting clips. Everything was just there and ready to go. I want to thank Katie and Hussein for all of your hard work bringing this film to life, Ryan Thompson for your incredible VFX work, and Cullen Kelly for the amazing color grading. Thank you all. There's no way this is possible without you. Film Riot, thanks for having me on the show, and I hope everybody enjoys the short film. Any question, hit me up on Instagram or send me an email. I look forward to talking to everybody soon.
And that's it for today. A massive thank you to Joe for putting this together. And I do get a lot of questions from people starting out about how they can make a film when they can't find anyone to help them. Well, this is your answer. Be creative, think outside the box, look at what you have and build something around that. Be the cast and crew if you have to. If you really want to tell stories, you're gonna find a way. So until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.